Hello. Nope, not yet. Maybe. Are we live?
Maybe. I don't know. Not showing on my phone yet.
Alrighty. I think we're going now. Maybe.
We'll see. Is this going? It says it is. Yeah.
You see me now.
Got a commercial going. So.
Yep. Got everything turned off, right?
Yes.
Silent?
Yep. A notification just popped up.
Who we got? Bonnie Guffey. Expand this here.
Bonnie says, hello, winter has returned. Here too. It's
Yep.
cold. Well, Bonnie's close by.
She's not too far.
She's pretty close. That's true.
Temperature dropped fast and that front came through.
Yeah.
Kira. And I'm guessing Patty, maybe Mac. Deb, Diana. Pink Red Apple Yard, Hattie. Chris Oliver.
That
Nicole.
needs an explanation.
Wendy.
We'll give you one.
Troy, Hattie. Tinker's wife.
Yeah, a lot of people popping in. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes. Bonnie saying we were in the 90s in Oklahoma and tonight we may get a freeze. We may. Tonight and tomorrow?
Next several nights. Well, freeze-wise, we're under a freeze warning
Tonight
now
and then
for tonight.
Tuesday, right?
Yeah, after midnight. And then temps in the 30s Monday, Tuesday nights, I think, for sure. I think Wednesday through like Saturday is in the low 40s.
Yeah.
So.
And we have tomatoes that need to go out bad.
And
but they
cucumbers
can't go out with that.
and peppers and eggplant.
And chickens.
Yeah, chickens. Yeah.
They need to get out of the
meat
brooder
birds need
and
to go
out
out.
to the side, but it's too cold.
So, yeah, the tomatoes look the worst by far, as far as needing to get in the ground.
Yeah, they need to get in the ground. They don't look bad. That's the problem.
No, they look great.
Really
They're
good.
just really
They're
tall.
big, and they need to get out of the greenhouse.
The cucumbers are also getting. They're wanting to climb pretty bad. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Stan Guthrie, Kurt Beers, Stivers, Hattie.
Hello.
Patty M. Scott Baruth.
Thought the live show was holding down the caterpillar.
We've been keeping an eye on the tunnel. Sandbagged all of the free spots of the
yep. So we didn't get any
cover.
air underneath the lift.
Keep that air out of it. It's going to be a big
Hopefully
thing.
with all the anchors and everything we've already put in, it should hold.
We've done everything we can.
Yeah.
So just ride it out from here.
Yep.
Patty G.
Yeah, we're both on tonight. She was looking for us last week.
So that was Mac.
Oh, they're both on.
Yep. Michelle.
Quite a few in.
Cryo. Yep. Quite a few in there.
Yeah.
Brett is here.
A bunch here already. A little late, but here. Just barely late. Like, just a
Yep.
minute.
Happy Easter to everybody.
Yes.
Heathstead, Hattie. Yep. The wind is. Can you hear it?
That is windy. Yeah, it's very windy.
There's a solid 60-foot sycamore, ain't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be at least 60 foot.
Right on the other side
right
of this
on
wall.
the side of this wall.
It's huge.
The wind's blowing towards us, and we always wonder about that tree. I mean, it's always treated as well.
Good. Yeah.
But man, it is right there, and we lose little limbs off of it and stuff. We've lost a couple moderate limbs, but they seem to come down within the tree.
Right.
So
it's been
if
good so far.
if we duck and cover,
I think it'll hold up. This tree's pretty tough.
Yeah, it's that wind's getting after it.
Yeah, big time.
They're saying 50-mile-an-hour gusts. I don't know if we've had that yet today.
I don't know.
It was pretty strong.
Windy. Yeah.
So,
It's been windy.
Maybe it'll blow the mites away. There you go.
Yep.
A lot of stuff needs to be blown away. Hey, Christy. Yeah. So I've seen a few question marks.
Lots of question marks. Everybody's wondering what's up.
Farmer
What's
Meemaw. Yeah. He said it's been like a tsunami there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably 60 degrees this morning when we got up.
Yeah, it wasn't that
50s
bad. I mean,
anyways.
just the sleeves were fine. You
Yeah.
didn't need like anything
Storms
heavy.
rolled in a little after lunch.
Yep.
And it didn't storm all that hard today. We missed we got a lot of storms last night.
Mm-hmm.
It rained a lot last night.
It did.
Yep. But, definitely the wind's worse today. I don't know what the wind did last night. It was blowing, but it was raining so hard you couldn't hear over the rain.
The rain was the biggest thing last night.
So,
yep.
Lone Star Living, Hattie, by you permaculturalists. Yep. So this is our last planned
regularly scheduled
weekly live. We talked about it. A few different things contributed to that.
Yeah.
I don't think this will be the last time we ever do a live.
No, but
as
far as a regularly
weekly live,
scheduled, especially 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
During the summer.
Yeah, this season, when it's light later,
mm-hmm.
And on Sunday evenings, I mean, it's everybody wants to be outside this time of day, and we're right there with them.
We encourage you guys to be outside.
We're right there with them. So
yeah,
it's a tough time slot. That's one fact. That's one thing. That's not the main reason. I mean, there's a lot of things go into it, but are limited on time slots about what days, how late, or things like that. So
just based on when some of our friends are already live, and also just our work schedule and the things we have going.
So we were really limited on choices from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
So this was one. For me, also, I've kind of looked at, what did I want the channel or the content to look like. I want to make sure to stay true to that direction. That was and how much time in a week do we have to commit to it, right? So you got to look at what do we want to, or what do I want to do with it, and how much time do I have to spend with it. What would I be doing during this hour, or it's actually, takes more than that, set it all up and trying to shift the rest of our schedule around to accommodate this couple hours we commit to this. So there's a lot of things that went into it, but that's where I'm at on it. So I don't know if she just agreed with me because I kind of brought it up. And so
Wendy says we should start back up when the cold comes back. And that could be a possibility.
That's always, it's always something we'll look at and kind of reassess and see, do we feel like, the goal is to, it's not purely entertainment for the channel. That's not my goal. I mean, yes, a certain amount of entertainment. I want people to enjoy watching, but to educate, motivate, inspire, and all that. And if I don't feel like the content that we just put out, the edited videos, if we put that out and it's not doing what we want, is live a missing component of that. The real-time interaction for the education or whatever, or whatever that conversation is. If that's missing, and we don't feel like I don't feel like I'm accomplishing what I want out of it, then we'll look at putting that back. But I think right now we're going to look at maybe what I'm seeing anyways is reduce the volume of content, maybe as far as the frequency. I'm thinking like maybe one video a week, encapsulating the whole week, and done more focused on quality than the numbers of videos. So I don't know. It may not work out that way, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So
the way the wheels are turning right now. I was just laughing at Brett saying it's good to have a supportive spouse.
Yeah. Hey Jeff. So that's my thoughts on it. Kind of, like I said, she may just agreed with me, but.
Well, I definitely for sure agree with the whole. I mean, this time slot, this time of day, we're even most of the time outside, or we're trying to hurry up and finish something to run in here. And I know a lot of people are busy, and I would much rather everyone be out there doing what they want to do. So.
And by the time this hour is up, if we haven't already had dinner, to then start dinner, and eat, you get done. It's bedtime because the alarm goes off at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So to drop everything we're doing outside, to start cooking dinner at like 3:00 in the afternoon to make sure it's ready and everybody gets everybody eats and everything, so we're ready to be in here.
Yep.
It's just a kind of a tough spot on it. So
it is.
When it feels like you're just really hitting a stride, getting some work done.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he was being serious, and I was laughing. That's good.
Yeah, the first goal of all of this is what we're actually doing. The documenting and sharing of it is secondary. It's important, but if you're not, doing the work, what do you have to share and teach anyway? So
Right.
When that part starts getting in the way of actually getting it done,
Right.
you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yep.
And we'll still be around on,
And we'll still
the
probably do
comments
lives
and the videos. Yeah.
occasionally. Just,
Yeah.
they won't be a regular weekly schedule thing.
And the comments and the videos, a limited amount of social media for me. I'm definitely going to prioritize reducing that too. So there'll be a little less of that, but still available.
Yeah.
And when people have questions or whatever, I mean, they know how to get
Send
a
us a
hold of
message
me.
anytime.
Send a message, yeah.
I was distracted by the cat out the window.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's about to jump on top of the greenhouse. Better not. So. I
Yeah.
don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, connecting with everybody's nice, and you guys are always welcome to send us messages and
Yep.
any questions or whatever. I have a few of you who I talk to fairly regularly who will send me questions or just talk. We're here for sure.
Yeah, be sure if you got any questions right now, get them in tonight's live here. We didn't actually bring anything to cover tonight.
No.
So I spent the day. She did a lot of cooking. I was kind of prepping everything for these storms and the cold. She went out and helped me batten down the tunnel because we had to, I don't know how many sandbags we ended up using to hold down all the sides just to keep the plastic from pulling up.
Got the barn re-winterized since winter decided to come back.
Yeah, so you got some fresh shavings down. I went out to the cattle panel greenhouse and moved in some temporary shelves, got things away from the walls, watered everything real good. Got the heater set up, so late tonight probably fire it up.
Yeah. Brett's having to step away.
Yep.
He'll try to come back and talk to us before we abandon everybody. Can we ever go over the charts? Are we on track?
Let's talk about prepping. Howdy.
Yeah. Kirsty said, what about the freeze coming up? Everything's going to be okay. Yeah, I do too. Our stuff that's out there right now is fine. It's cold hardy. It's actually coming to the end of its season anyway.
It'll
most of that should be fine.
It may slow a few things down.
Kind of concerned about the onions.
Yeah, it might slow the onions down a little bit. It won't kill them because we're not talking about deep hard freeze. We're talking about right around the freezing mark.
Yeah.
So
I'm concerned about our fruit trees that have already put some fruit on. But there's not really anything we can do about that. We have some pears and plums already out there. And the apple trees are
30,
in full bloom.
30 could hurt them, 29 kill them. So
I am kind of concerned about that. Yep. Can I do a video on the pretzel rolls? They were good.
That was my idea.
Yeah. You always take credit. You're like,
it was.
This great idea.
You were like, I gotta go make some bread. I was thinking, what do I want? Because I knew you threw a roast in there, got it cooking. I thought, at first I said, you got potatoes and onions and carrots and everything thrown there. I said, well, I'm not going to put anything in there yet. I was like, well, I might make a sandwich out of it. And I got thinking, I want something different than just plain old white bread sandwich. So
yeah.
So you can make pretzel rolls.
I love how you always take credit for, yes, it was your
idea. I didn't cook them.
You didn't do it.
I didn't cook them.
It's like, I had a great idea. You did, though. They were really good.
Yeah, a little shredded up roast. A little bit of au jus and some spicy brown mustard. Mm-hmm. It was good.
It was pretty good. Not sure if I'll do a video on that or not, Kira, but I'll send you the recipe for sure.
Hey, Josh. Pathways? Howdy. Yeah, I think the end of this week, I've got all of our irrigation stuff on the way. It's supposed to be here early in the week. Mm-hmm. I've got to buy a few small pieces locally. That ought to be fun. I've stayed out of all the stores for the past couple weeks,
I don't know, we've
week
gone
and a half.
anywhere in forever.
Yeah, we haven't been going anywhere. Last time I was in one, dude walking around coughing into a rag, beat red and sweating. I said, I'm done. That's it. You know. But anyways, I need some plumbing, fittings and pipe, set up some stuff. And I think that's all we don't have, which I wish I had that
I
on
think
hand.
so.
But I've got to
Yeah.
pick those up. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, figure out what the best bet is for where to go. I don't really want to go to Lowe's or something. I know what those places are like right now.
Yeah.
But figure something out and then have everything else. Anyways, get back to my point. All the irrigation stuff, get it set up this week, hopefully, because a lot of it we need to have in place before we plant. So we'll get that set up, get some of the ground cover down, and then plant tomatoes, bell peppers, and cucumbers out in the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
That's all with drip irrigation. And then the eggplants need to go out back.
Yeah.
We won't have irrigation on those
No.
in this garden. Then there's other stuff we need to get planted.
Which once
so.
they're established, we don't really need the irrigation in that garden.
So the stuff in the tunnel will probably go first. The eggplants are getting pretty big. They need to go out too. But watching the temps, we might put some hoops over them, put some row cover, frost cover over them, protect those, put the heaviest we've got. And they'll be good to go. So
Okay. Michelle's letting you know where to go for the irrigation. Down at the
Ewing
bottom.
irrigation.
Yep.
Okay.
Just let this place go. She would know.
Yeah. If we have to expand, I did already order all the stuff online that I needed, but
But you said you need a few more.
yeah.
Some things.
Well, that's all common
Okay.
plumbing stuff I need,
Yeah.
just PVC.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Was approximately how many years before elderberry roots will start bearing? Plants between 9 to 12 inches. Plan on planting them out this week.
Nothing this year.
Yeah.
Next year you're gonna get little, but the birds are gonna fight. I mean, so little that the birds
Yeah.
might beat you to it.
Yeah, you could throw netting over it or something, but,
Yep.
but
And
you
then
won't
the-
have a large quantity.
The next year
Yeah.
is when you'll have plenty. So
Now that's our experience.
right,
Now you might put that stuff in some of the most fertile ground,
and it just
and
takes
it
off.
just grows like
Maybe
this
next
because
year
it
it'll be
does.
good.
It grows fast.
Really fast.
It does. You'll see once it gets established, you'll have new shoots come up, and they'll be 4 to 6 foot the first year.
Yeah.
You know, that new growth
Yeah.
comes up really strong. But our experience from what we started with something similar,
Yeah.
the second year.
Right. Like that
of being
first year we planted
established.
it, nothing. But
Yeah.
yeah, the second year we got some, and
Yeah.
then the following year there was
Yeah.
plenty.
Stan Guthrie said their Lowe's was all barricaded.
Yeah, you never know anywhere anymore. Yep.
Yeah, there's stuff I'd like to get direct sown also. I don't know. We haven't looked at the schedule. I haven't looked at it in a
I
while.
looked at, actually, we're supposed to be pretty busy this week, but I think everybody's going to have to get bumped.
Maybe wait till
one
the end of the week.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on this one.
Hey, Amy.
Quite a bit, actually. We're supposed to plant even like the loofah and all that stuff.
Yeah,
But I think
okra
everything's going to
should
get...
seeds should be going in.
Yep.
There's stuff that like the broccoli in the tunnel. It's just forming heads good now,
Yeah.
and we were supposed to put the tomatoes in there this week as a plan. Which to do that, there's a couple of different ways we talked about doing it. Trying to leave the broccoli and plant down the middle until they finish.
Right.
But the ground cover and the irrigation we need to do, I just don't think it's going to work. So it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be a lickety-split turnover.
Right. We'll have to see.
Cut the broccoli, pull it out, dress the beds, irrigation, plant, trellis, and everything, maybe in the span of a day or two.
Right.
So it's going to be busy.
It is, yeah. The chart is busy this week.
Yeah.
But the weather isn't
I
cooperating
think
with that.
Patty was wanting to look at the
To
chart.
see the chart.
To see if we're on.
We're not on schedule because of the weather. Well, we're not off. We're just,
Yeah, it was Patty.
we're pushing it a little late.
Let's see here. You keep talking.
I'm trying to find it too. I don't know why. Because you're pulling it up, so I guess I don't really need to.
I gotta remember how to get to
Oh.
the full-blown version of it here.
Oh, Wendy says she's seen a bunch of ticks already. I I haven't noticed that.
Hey, Josh. City Stead, TNS Dogs and Dragonflies. Oh, City Stead got a question.
City Stead has a question.
Yeah.
Oh, last live. What's that all about? Well, you're late. We already explained that.
Why's my password not working?
Like we were saying earlier, a lot of it is seasonal, at the very least.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, it's daylight. Everybody's still outside working, and we'd rather you be outside working still and enjoying the weather and time with family and all that. So, and same with us. We have a lot to do out there. So at least for sure for this time of year, we're going to quit the regular scheduled weekly lives. We might still pop on occasionally and put a lot more focus into our videos.
Yeah.
So, how far apart do we space our broccoli? Do you remember? Weren't they like 8 inches?
Well, those are closer to, those were a foot, but that's less than we really want to. We really want about 18 inches. But they're only about a foot. They're about closer to 18 inches apart between the rows. Mm-hmm. You know, remember it's a long 50-foot row. 18 inches apart this way, and then about every foot. So, because we had so many.
That's right.
So. I changed this password and I can't remember what I changed it to. There we go.
So he can't figure things out. Hang on.
All right.
Yeah, Deb says yellow jackets out. Ours, we have had tons of wasps.
Yeah.
All of them. But I haven't noticed any tick problems yet. But our chickens are out there eating everything too, so hopefully that's helping.
It said we'd be harvesting cabbage already. We're not, so.
No. Well, the problem with the cabbage is we got some really hot, like 96.
Yeah,
and
a lot of them tried to bolt.
It did try to bolt. So we'll probably just have to harvest the leaves that we can and move on with that bed. Oklahoma weather's tricky.
Yeah.
You have to grow all 4 seasons within a couple weeks.
All right. Let's see here.
Hey, Tammy. She made it. Yay.
Howdy.
Oh, Jeff already has a ton of ticks. Maybe I just haven't noticed them yet. I don't know, because they're not very far from us. So.
All right. Let's see here.
I just haven't noticed a problem with them yet.
Can we bring that up?
Sure.
All right. Comments going to have to go away for a minute.
Yeah.
We'll do this here. Let's try it this way. Maybe. Well.
Maybe not.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, this week is busy. We're supposed to be busy.
So 4/12, you can see we're supposed to be planting.
All the peppers, all the tomatoes.
Yep. All peppers, all tomatoes. This shows the cucumbers not actually going in until the 26th. So, but they're not going to be able to wait. They're growing. Well, in fact, we planted them earlier.
Yeah.
So, and then what else? Your other peppers, jalapeno and sugar rush peach. Yep.
Those have to go in because I like them. But I've still got a ton from last year, so we're not planning nearly as many of those this year.
Jeff knows he needs to get chickens. I keep working on him.
I know. Yeah, Christy, y'all need chickens.
Yeah, how them Josh, how's it going up there buying plants and seeds and stuff?
Oh, yeah. My goodness.
Yeah. Amanda B says I only have 2 4x8 raised beds. There's so much I want to grow, but don't have space. Planted broccoli, but fear it's going to take up too much space. So broccoli in a square foot gardening, 1 broccoli plant gets an entire square, 12 by 12, and that's tight. So
yeah, they can get pretty big.
Depending on the variety you grow, there are some that grow a smaller head, 3 to 4 inch. And truly, like ours, I mean, we pruned a lot of leaves off for different reasons. We've never done that before, but I haven't noticed it hurt.
It hasn't
growth
hurt
really.
them, and I was almost wondering if it was going to help towards the end here
so
where we're trying to get it to finish.
That'd be the biggest problem with broccoli is the foliage gets so big and so dense, typically, that you're not going to have good airflow, which causes all kinds of other issues. So being able to prune off some of those bigger leaves might be worth trying. Just see, what it does.
We're just laughing at Jeff and Christy's conversation with each other around here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we can get them set up with some chickens.
Yeah. It says too many predators and they need a better coop or a good coop, but we can take care of that too. Ours is pretty secure.
Well, you could buy netting cheap enough, big enough to go over that whole big garden there.
Yeah.
Keep aerial predators out and then just secure the fence a little bit. That's good, so it won't be that hard. So, yeah. How would you go about starting a garden with a lawn full of grass? As in-ground gardening easier than raised beds. Will be a fast way to build an in-ground and get rid of all your grass. So the fastest way, I've said this before, 3 things. Fast, quality, or cheap. You pick any 2. Right? You can have any 2. One of the if I had it to do all over again, an in-ground garden of trying my absolute best, because we deal with Bermuda grass. I'm not sure what kind of grass you are, but for us, we'll go back here. If I could do it all over again, I would probably bring in a sod cutter and cut. If I was trying to do it fast to get a spot established, I'd cut all the sod out, and I wouldn't trash it. I'd find somewhere where I could try to tarp it, kill it, whatever, and keep all that organic matter. But I would do that, and I would come back in and amend that area and improve, build it back up and improve the soil, all that one time and get it all done. And then depending on which way I'm going, if it was more the back to Eden style with the deep mulch or like the market garden style, whatever, then that's where it diverges and you do whichever way to build your bed you're going to. But getting rid of that Bermuda right away, you got to cut the sod out if you want it done fast. Yeah. If you're not worried about fast, you can tarp it like we've done. Yep. And that can take months to kill it out good.
Yeah, it can take a while.
So that's what I mean. Fast or cheap, right? Cheaper. Those tarps aren't cheap, but
no.
But it's it's working while you're doing something else.
Right.
Right. So.
Yep. You could we've messed up. I mean, really, I think it's messed up for me. I mean, you can till it and all that kind of stuff, but then all you're doing is chopping that grass into tiny little pieces, and you have more grass.
Yeah, every rhizome can grow.
Yeah. So that'll get you a bed right now really fast, but it'll cause you a headache in the process if it's Bermuda you're dealing with.
Yeah. Mama Z's. Yeah. Congratulations on your views. I saw your post about how many views you got. Those milestones are fun.
What do you dress the beds with? Okay,
so the semi-permanent raised beds that we're doing, we did soil tests to see even where we were starting, because we started those as back to Eden, and in the past, it was all wood chips, composted chicken litter from our coop, and all that. So we need to know where are we starting. Our organic matter was plenty high. We're actually high on phosphorus because of all of the animal manure. Mm-hmm. So our phosphorus was high. Our nitrogen and potassium were sufficient, but because of the imbalance, I wanted to amend with those. So for our soil, I'm using feather meal, which is a 1200, and potash, which is a 0053, and then the right amounts of each depending upon your soil results.
Also the Miramichi.
So we're using Miramichi Green, which is a biochar, which is already inoculated with compost. So we're using that also. It's a smaller amount. We're using azomite, which is A to Z minerals, I think they call it. It's a rock dust type stuff. It's micronutrients, macros, minerals. It's an all inclusive. It's covers a gamut of additions, right? So, and again, something else you use in a small quantity. There's a lot of other options. There's alfalfa meal, which we've talked about using. There's things that
it's all going to depend on your soil too.
You could use to add the phosphorus, which we don't need. So,
right.
But there's ways to add calcium and everything. But it's really best way to start with the soil sample. And I mean, there's things you can add that's not going to hurt, like the Miramichi green. It's the biochar that's inoculated. You're just kind of conditioning the soil, so you can add that to any and not matter. But I wouldn't just go willy-nilly with nitrogen or anything else, because you could throw off your balance. Now, adding a good balanced fertilizer that will slow release is probably less likely to have an issue with. But if you hit it with something that's really strong and you don't need it, you could cause problems.
Josh hates or doesn't like Bermuda grass. I don't think anybody does. Or not anybody who's trying to get rid of it. Anybody who's
it's fine in the yard where you want it, but as soon as you don't want it, it grows really well. Yeah. And then you have patches in the yard that's not growing where you do want it.
Right.
So, and given the choice between Bermuda and fescue, I prefer the fescue.
I do too.
It's more comfortable to walk on barefoot and stuff.
It's softer. It's prettier.
In the summer, the Bermuda can get so hard and sharp feeling. Yeah. So.
Wendy, you don't have chickens already? I don't know why that surprises me, but it does with everything else she's got going on.
Well, maybe that's why she don't have chickens.
Maybe not. Yeah, you guys need a couple of chickens.
Yeah.
Definitely. Help out with compost. Give you some eggs.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
I would say, I always tell people, chicken, there's so many values to having chickens, right? But make sure you do it in a way that doesn't become a headache. Mm-hmm. I think we could improve our chicken setup quite a bit to where it's less labor for us. Anytime they're stationary, 100% stationary, it's going to create labor.
It creates more work because you
got to take everything to them and everything from them back out, right? So bedding amendment, stuff like that in, litter, manure, all that stuff, you can't just leave it there forever. Mm-hmm. It does have to come out. So being able to move them around helps with that, but then you're also moving them around. So there's a give and take. What animals would you recommend getting if you're on 1.82 acres of land?
I would say that depends on what you're wanting also.
Yeah.
We don't eat pork, so we don't want pigs.
Yeah.
We're only on an acre. We have chickens. We have considered sheep, a couple of small sheep.
Like sheep graze, goats browse. So what do you have for them to eat? We don't have thick woods available where with vines and underbrush, stuff like that would serve goats well. We just have basically lawn where we don't have gardens and animals. So things that graze would be better for us because we wouldn't have to buy as much feed.
Right.
There are, for somebody that's raising pigs, there are grazing pigs, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. And then there's more rooting, eating the brush type pigs, depending on the type. But it's purely dependent on what type of land do you have, what effect will they have on the land, will they do what you want, or are they going to destroy what you're trying to do?
Right.
Can you tie them into your systems, right?
And will you actually use
whatever
that animal produces? Yeah.
Their waste needs to be a resource, whatever that waste is. If it's tillage, if it's the manure, if it's them processing something, they need to have value coming and going. So look at all those different things and make sure you can work it in. I
mean, on 1.82, it's almost 2 acres. You could easily do, like, if you wanted a cow, you could do a small, like the Dexter's is what I've looked at, but
be feeding a lot.
You wouldn't want to do like
you couldn't do that and something else.
Yeah, you'd have to pick and choose how much. But I would definitely say chickens.
Yeah.
Because those are easy. You can
And
work
if you,
those into anything.
depending on if you've ever had animals, I wouldn't probably start with anything of larger or high maintenance, unless you've got plenty of time to learn and you have resources, people to help. Because goats, parasite issues, hoof trimming, things like that people don't think about. That is just routine care.
Yeah.
That will make sure you're willing and capable, or otherwise able to provide.
I'd say
pay somebody to do it or something like that.
pick one and get used to how to handle that, and then move on to something else if you feel comfortable. That's what I would do.
That's just like a lot of people putting in gardens right now. I think they're biting off a lot more than they could chew. Instead of starting small, they're feeling the pressure to garden, and they go big really quick.
And it'll burn you out. Frustration.
You'll struggle. A lot of people will struggle with that, and they'll either regret it or it'll just go to waste or something. It's better to really succeed well in a small scale than to fail at something big. Because
there's still things we want to add on, but we want to kind of conquer one thing at a time. And once we feel comfortable with that, then you can add more.
Yeah.
Hi, Dawn.
Howdy. It's one of those times where I say, shoot for the stars and land on the moon. I wouldn't do that with gardening because you can overwhelm yourself. If you got a lot of help, then do what you're willing to try to tackle. But Chris said, "Their mini horses are good for what? Pets.
They're pets.
I tell you what, they make the manure. If you compost the manure,
that's true.
It's going to take longer than chicken litter or rabbit or goat or anything like that. Just for the sense of the weed seed, you need to hot compost it probably more. Get rid of the weed seed, but they make plenty.
Yeah. Josh says, "What about go big or go home?" He's going big with the garlic this year.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, whatever you're willing to risk, Yep. And your process, your tools, what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to put in a 2-acre garden and all you got's a hand trowel and a little weed popper or something. Right. Brett's back. Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah, videos about the chickens and stuff. Yeah, I feel like we've figured out most of the chicken thing, but we've still learned all the way through that too.
We've definitely figured out
what works and what doesn't.
The way we're doing it.
Yeah,
we figured out how to make it work.
That's true.
Now if we were to switch everything up to the way somebody else does it, we might struggle for a little while.
We'd have to,
getting accustomed to that.
Yep. So. I was excited though yesterday. We've been worried about one of our dogs with the chickens specifically because he's an Australian Shepherd, high energy, and we decided to get brave enough to let the dogs and the chickens all roam together, and it's been working so far. So I'm glad.
He got a little Snoopy around them when there was a few of them and some tall irises.
Yeah.
I think he was just kind of curious to see what was going on in there. He stuck his nose in there a little bit, and the rooster gave him a swipe. And ran him off, and he's not curious anymore.
No.
He's not. I mean, he just gives them wide berth,
Yeah.
He's not scared of them. He doesn't act like he's wanting to.
No, unless they get back in that little alley, and the rooster's here and the dog's here, and then they both kind of look at each other like, who's going to get out of the way first? But nobody's really tested it, so that's good.
The Pyrenees hasn't, tried to butt in or.
Yeah.
I think he would keep the shepherd away from the chickens if he was pressing it. But
I was also concerned about them getting into a fight because of the chickens, but it's worked, so I'm glad. Bye, Sharon. Happy Easter.
See you later. Well, won't see you next week.
No.
Fishes and Loaves. It is true. This is our last scheduled live.
Regularly scheduled,
Yeah. Might have a reason to do a special occasion one or if
we'll give plenty of notice for if we decide to do that.
Yeah, but not doing the weekly live anymore.
No.
So
trying to look back and see if I missed anything.
So I was looking, scrolling.
Scott has 8 wild rabbits because he's a bad shot. That's funny.
Happy Easter to you, Shirley Scott.
Mama Z's wanting a mini cow, lots of chickens, and goats, and a mini cow.
Wendy said we should go live on rainy days.
Rainy days.
And we got greenhouses to work in.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll find times, I'm sure, where we have a reason to pop on here.
Yep. They celebrate 50,000 subscribers or something.
50,000. Oh, I was thinking 5 because we're close to that. But you're like big.
Like Josh said, go big or go home.
Yeah, I guess.
Josh says still got a lot more to put in. Some cooler weather. And we'll get a lot more done. Yeah. It's definitely cooled off here for this week.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the cooling off, but
No.
it's not unusual for us to get April cold. I mean, that really just always happens.
Yeah.
You get teased with that spring weather, and then
Yeah, we had some pretty warm days.
Mm-hmm.
Brett said that recent video helped understand and work toward is permaculture, and we have been putting the pieces in place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people don't realize that what they're doing is permaculture because they're just doing it, and then oh, that's what that is.
I mean, I get the kind of purist view of it, of the permanence and the scale of permanence and all that, and things, needing, when you walk away, it just continues to develop, and we have that,
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's also the component of it of we need to think about our permanence and what do we need to do to sustain us, not just sustain what we install, right? So if we need to produce enough food or whatever for us, if I'm not getting it done with what we're doing and I don't have the opportunity to just scale that up big enough to do that, then I'm failing at the goal of sustaining us. And okay, I'm in this footprint. What do I need to do that? And if it doesn't look like the purest permaculture, it doesn't matter because the permanent agriculture is the plants in the ground. The permanent culture is how do you improve and sustain the society, the people, and all that. So there's that part of it too, and it's just having the having the intelligence and the willingness to open your mind to say, maybe this is what it takes to get it done. And because it doesn't look like what I think it should look like, that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Is it... Now, I'm not saying, all the synthetic stuff and the things that hurt the soil and all that. No. I'm not saying go that far. I'm just saying if it looks a little different, but it's still meeting the objectives, as long as it's not doing any damage, mm-hmm. right? Then I think it should be okay. It's just like we don't do raised beds, okay?
But somebody else.
I don't have a problem with anybody that does.
Right.
We don't do aquaponics or hydroponics. I feel like good, wholesome food should be grown in the soil. Do I bash people that do hydroponics or aquaponics? No.
They all have.
I think the aquaponics is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
The whole. I like the thought of it and the closed loop of it, and I get that, and I think that's permaculture.
Yeah.
Hydroponics, aeroponics, I'm a little less of a fan on those because you have to bring in so many inputs. You can't close the loop. You'll never close the loop. But I still don't bash people to do it.
It's just different.
Don't do it.
Well, even our instructor at our PDC class said that even in permaculture design, straight line garden beds have their place.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends on the design.
Yeah. So, within permaculture, you see a lot of people talking about greenhouses, or things like that. Okay. But that's, if you want to be a purist about the food forest type of look, feel, and all that, then that doesn't fit in there. Mm-hmm. So I think there's some people have a give and take on things that they think is acceptable or not, and that was the kind of the point of that video. It really wasn't, like I said, it wasn't to be confrontational. Okay, so maybe there was a couple of people that have made comments that I wanted to be confrontational with. So I'll say that part's true. Overall, the video was not that. So
aquaponics is a little fishy.
It is.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, I think it kind of came across right in the video. I mean, we lost a few subscribers when it first came out. Yeah. We lost some. We've regained that and many more since.
Right.
So I'll never take the video down. I mean, it's not offensive. It's not over the top. It's that's what was on my mind that day when I made the video. It wasn't pre-planned. In fact,
you
outside,
just grabbed the camera and took off. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, actually, I didn't. Until I got outside, I didn't really know what I was going to make a video about because we didn't have anything going on. We didn't have any project going on. It was just a normal day. So, and I got thinking about that, and I thought, well, this may be the one chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fishlow says, right now, I heard a certain person, gardener, say, right now, a bit of whatever is giving you food for your family is more important. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Ecocentric says, permaculture is that which can be continued forever. I agree to a certain degree. I get it. I get the permanent part. I know it's in the roots of it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think we're at a point. I don't think anybody's at a point where anything we do at this point will ever continue forever, right? I don't know. That's a much deeper, longer discussion than we got here to do here.
Interpreted so many ways too. I mean, maybe it continues forever because you teach people to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, I get that, and like I said, our food forest back there, we walk away from it. It won't be long before it doesn't look like that, but everything back there should continue to grow, and it'll go through its natural evolution of things have a certain life and it'll die off, and something else take over. And, the trees will even only live for so long. At some point, they'll end up dying. You'd hope that it would propagate.
And do its thing. Yeah.
But
yeah, Jeff, you're right. Everybody's land is different, and you have to work with what you have. I mean, permaculture can be done in an apartment building in a big city, or it can be done on thousands of acres of land, and everywhere in between.
And that's kind of where, again, the whole that it can self-sustain permanently. I hang up on that because that really limits our audience of who can we teach these ethics and principles to. And if I say that whatever you do has to be able to live forever, it has to be self-sustaining and move on, then trying to teach that person in the apartment the things they can do there, their hands got to be on it every time from now on. And it's the mindset that we're trying to teach, not the result. It's a problem-solving process, and adhere to those ethics and principles. However creative they can get to solve a problem and stay within those bounds, that's the important part to me. Mm-hmm. Somebody growing all of their herbs and greens and stuff in a waterfall chain of plastic bottles in the windowsill of their apartment,
it's fantastic.
It's great, but it's not going to self-sustain. But think of all the things that the problems they're solving in the scale of what they're doing. They're not having to go buy that. Somebody's not having to grow that somewhere else. Mm-hmm. It might even be in a very similar fashion. They might be growing it through aeroponics or hydroponics, and think of all the things that go into them doing it and getting it to the person that's doing it on their own. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Amy saw where some states are stopping and
selling a season plan.
So I saw where they've said that it's non-essential selling plants for things like that, and I saw the picture where the seed section was blocked off at Walmart, and I also saw another story that said that was one Walmart that chose to do that, one store manager or something. So I don't have all the details,
right?
But I think it's right on that fringe enough where there's probably a lot more of that going on than we know about, and it sends a message, and It's that whole boiling the frog thing. Do a little bit here or a little bit there, and what people get used to, and people decide to kind of lay down and say, oh well, that's that's the better way to do it. Now I'm all for keeping our distance and trying to do some of the smart things, but I think there is a lot of overreach too. So
yeah.
I'm curious to see just where it's all going to end up.
Yeah.
CP No-Till says they have in-laws 125-year-old apple tree surviving on their own. That's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'd love to have something like that on a piece of property. That'd be cool. Josh says permaculture does seem to require a lot of work still.
Yeah.
It does, and it depends on, like you're saying, the food forest area. Once you get that established, you're still going to have to do some work. Once it's really established and you have your tree.
Well, and it's because
it's not going to be as much, but other things, depending on what you're wanting.
We also get used to certain expectation of what something should look like.
Yeah.
And it also depends on, where are you at? If you're on a 1 acre in a suburban homestead, you can't have a zone 5.
No, you got it.
Where you never touch it and it goes absolutely wild, unless it was kind of already that way. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could. You can do whatever you want if you can you defend it, and depending on who's got their thumb on you. But having the true zone 5, it's tough where you're never going to be in there doing something to kind of clean it up or maintain it or something. So
yeah, definitely.
That'd be nice if you could go out, set something up, and walk away, come back in 20, 25 years and see what it looks like.
Yeah. I love that quote. Ecocentric Home said.
Yeah.
Gangster Gardener said, funny thing about sustainability is you have to sustain it.
It's true.
You do.
Ron Finley.
I love that guy.
Yeah. I'd like to see him in person, meet him, but we'll see if that ever happens. Yeah, even in nature, there's some type of maintenance going on. Something's eating on something. Wildfires, clean up underbrush, lightning strikes kill trees, winds, things have to get to the ground to become organic matter. Yeah. The leaves die and fall off. Plants die, fall, all those things, Hey, Susan Baker. Yeah, Amy says Michigan governor stopped the seed selling.
I saw that, and I mean, I haven't done all the research on it myself to know all the details. I did see M.I. Gardner was talking about how he wasn't even allowed to sell plants at the farmer's market. He could sell the finished product, but he couldn't sell the plant to grow it. Yeah. Which I don't understand that at all. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we could get into the whole. We saw just before we started the whole. It's okay to go to Walmart. It's okay to go to Lowe's, but you can't go to church.
Go to church. You can go to the farmer's market and buy the food, but you can't buy the plant to grow your own food. Yep. So that doesn't make any sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow, it's getting close to 7 o'clock already.
Wow, that was fast.
Yep.
It was really fast. Yeah, that's a shame that people are kind of stepping over some boundaries there.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of a situation that doesn't need to be twisted.
Yeah, anytime.
Even more than it already feels like it is.
And it takes a very good person to not, include their own politics or whatever in any big decision.
Yeah.
What truly is best, and being able to go to your resources and get all the information you can, and all the I don't know. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made. I wouldn't want to be the one having to make them, but we can make the decisions that we can control on how we want to do things, and look at risk versus, what do we give up or what do we do, and I think we've all got our lines that, we've drawn in the sand, and some of us may already be at that and some not, so.
Yeah.
We'll miss you too, Wendy.
Yeah, our nursery is doing the same thing, Ecocentric. We can call and order by phone, and then they just put it all in the car for you, or truck for you, and you don't have to.
The last time we checked, I haven't
That's
heard.
True.
I haven't heard anything.
We haven't tried
changed.
again, and we just bought potting soil at one time, but.
Yeah. So if it gets to that point, I don't know. I just, what's going to be the final straw for some people? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thought process behind blocking plant cells. I don't know if that was a broad stroke, non-essential labeling. If it falls under, lawn and garden or something, and they're just saying those departments of the stores are off limits, or
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the information I don't have to know. But it seems like any of those things, that government survives on loopholes and asterisks. So to not take the time to consider each one of those items and make the loophole and the asterisk and because we all know it's being done on all of these decisions are being made, all of these quarantines and lockdowns and everything, there's exceptions being made left and right to not consider those certain things. That's what you wonder. Is it something nefarious, or is it just pure idiotic oversight? So, hey, Green Dream, you're right at the tail end.
Right at the tail end, asking about the last live.
Yep, it is our last scheduled weekly live.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, Lynn, that's true. Yeah, it's
We're not going away. We're just going away for regularly scheduled lives. We're still going to have our videos. You can still contact us, message us, all that stuff.
Yep.
We're not gone. We're just not going to be regularly live. Scott says, come back when live once 6 p.m. equals dark.
And we'll see.
And that may be something we do.
We'll see in the fall or whatever.
He doesn't garden with a flashlight.
Yeah.
That is a possibility. That's because that is one of the decisions, or one of the reasons we made this decision. Yeah. We need to be outside at this time. Mm-hmm. A lot of other people are, and our viewers are higher in the winter than they are right now. Not that that's a total, but it is the truth. I mean, we have more people because everybody's out there doing the same things we need to be out there doing. So
yeah, and we don't want to keep people from being out there. We don't want people to feel obligated. Not that I don't think anybody ever would necessarily. I don't know. It's a hard way to phrase it, but I don't want to draw people away from working outside intentionally or unintentionally. Right? So.
It's a busy time of year. That's definitely one thing, and we may.
Yeah, we'll still be bringing some care. So.
Your live stream is a perfect time for us to sit and hang out and talk. Ours is not.
You might even get an occasional unexpected Skype call or something during the live. Who knows? Yep. I think it's a mess up there in Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah. Green Dream says lots of things to do. You guys are plenty busy, so yeah, I'm sure you understand.
Well, we miss you too there, Deonker. Yeah, I wonder if Green Dream, he went from 12 right to 14 on the courses.
Oh, yeah, I skipped over that 13.
I lobbied for skipping course 13, so.
You got a thing about that number?
I'm not, super superstitious about it. Just every opportunity that comes up to eliminate that number from our life.
Our daughter was born on the 13th.
Well, I don't want to eliminate that.
I can't get rid of that day.
We could celebrate on the 12th.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's devastated. It'll be okay. We'll still be around, and we may just do the whole occasional live if we have a reason to pop on and share.
Said sooner y'all help us get to 50,000. Next live will be
50,000. Oh my goodness.
All right, Brett. Have a good one. Be careful. Josh says Jim is always watching Jess work.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, here lately, watching the videos, I've seen Crew do more digging than Jim.
Have you?
Yeah. What? He hasn't. Jim, he's been mixing dirt, but he ain't been digging. So I've seen Crew digging in 3 different videos lately.
Yeah.
So.
That's funny. John knows all about watching the wife work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, our pollen's been crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, clouds of it. So. Well, that one shows 7 o'clock, but the phone doesn't.
Mine doesn't.
Oh,
Not
my
quite.
phone does.
Yeah, our phones are always different times.
Yeah. See, I'm ahead of you. That's why you're always late. I got
Maybe you're always
7:01.
early.
So, it's a matter of restricting accounts for obvious reasons. This time you're going to wash from home. Necessary things, stores like Walmart. Yeah, I think there has been some opportunistic enforcement of things, though. It's not standardized,
Right.
even across a state, much less across the country. So you will see things happen in some states you won't see in other states, and that's where I say it's.
Sorry, you're not talking about anything funny. I'm
No,
laughing at
sorry,
Josh.
taking my boots up. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's very, very inconsistent. So,
Yes.
and that type of, which that helps protect the sovereignty of the states. You know, instead of one big federal government, but also it makes things come shining right to the surface too. So, but. Alrighty, yeah. Well, I guess we'll probably call tonight, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna
So-
head out of here. So.
Yeah, we still got a couple things to take care of before the evening's over,
Mm-hmm.
and
Close up some animals and all that
that
good
wind's
stuff.
still blowing.
Oh
So,
my goodness, big time.
yeah. So, no, can't keep going. Windy, we have to shut it down. So.
Yeah. Just do a 2 hour. Yeah, we've got to go close up animals
Yeah,
and all that stuff. So.
Well, appreciate
Can't do
y'all
that.
hanging out with us all these weeks.
Yes.
So I didn't even count them up to
Well,
see how many we've
I
done.
don't know. It was July, I
Was
think,
it?
or
So-
June or July. I don't
So
remember.
not quite a year, but who knows what the future will bring. But be sure and leave some comments, stuff on the videos you see from us. Tell us if whether or not we're actually accomplishing what we're trying to do. So,
Oh, hi, Janet. Yeah, we're saying goodbye.
yeah. Alrighty. Well, I guess won't see you next week.
No, well, not
Not
live.
on here.
Yeah.
That's my normal. We'll
Right.
see you in a week or so. But,
Yep.
So, yeah, y'all stay out of trouble. I'm not even gonna try. So.
I don't think you can.
When I got friends like Jim and Josh, I don't even try.
Brett.
Brett, yeah, he's already gone. So,
Yeah.
all right, we all take care, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.
All right.